We all know and love Sid, Manny, Scrat and Diego and all the other characters in the Ice Age universe. In this video we'll be going through the history of all the Ice Age games from 2002 on the Game Boy Advance to the recent Ice Age Scrat's Nutty Adventure, released in 2019. This is where the evolution started back in 2002 with a game simply called Ice Age, based on the first Ice Age movie came to life on the portable Game Boy Advance. Developed by Artificial Mind and Movement and published by Ubisoft, this is a typical side-scrolling 2D game where you play as Manny the Mammoth with Roshan on top, the baby. You dodge enemies and collect Scrat's acorn along the way and progress through the levels, very much like the 2D Super Mario games. Of course, this wasn't some crazy insane graphics or anything, but a nice Game Boy Advance movie tie-in game that lets you have fun with pixel graphics. Overall, the game was well made. It achieved what it intended to be, a fun on-the-go experience, and was the first of its kind in the Ice Age movie tie-in game series. If you have an old Game Boy Advance laying around, picking up dust, and you really love Ice Age, then it's worth to pick up this game to relive the early 2000s charm of GBA games back then. They didn't stop at one movie tie-in game. That's where Ice Age 2 for the Game Boy Advance and the Nintendo DS comes in. It was developed and released by Vivendi Games, and the reason I have included this game here is because it plays quite differently compared to the console versions. You play as Sid, Manny, Diego, Scrat in different varied levels. The game plays in a top-down perspective. It is great fun to play. You switch between characters as you want and try to solve tasks that can only be done by a specific character. One thing to mention, Sid's face in the dialogue boxes is genuinely terrifying. Just look at him here, definitely getting nightmares after this. That was it for the GBA game. Overall, a solid game to play on the go. Now let's talk about the DS port of this game. Back in the days when the Nintendo DS was a thing, there would be created thousands of games, and the Ice Age games were no exception. This game features familiar characters like the one and only Sid, Manny, Diego, and of course Scrat. This game plays similar as the GBA version. You switch between these characters to solve different tasks, find the animals, and collect acorns. There are also boss fights in this installment, where you throw snowballs at the enemy to defeat them. Not too much else to say about this. It's a decent movie tie-in game for the legendary Nintendo DS and quite fun to play. Next in the evolution of Ice Age games is the console releases for this game. This was definitely one of the better movie tie-in games at the time. A solid game for the consoles. The game was developed by Eurocom and released by Vivendi Games. This is the first game that utilizes 3D graphics on consoles. You play as Scrat in different environments that make you immersed in the world around you. Minigames are in this game, such as the bowling minigame, where your goal is to knock down as many penguins as possible to get the highest score. Quite fun and creative. Sid is playable in this game for a few moments with an exciting thrill ride down an ice mountain and dodging obstacles along the way. This game captures the charm of the movie with the same name. The characters are well made, move well, and make for a really fun platformer that is made for kids but can be enjoyed by gamers at any age really. Variation is great, and in this Ice Age adventure you get just that. You start off in a snowy environment that you associate the Ice Age movies with. Later in the game, warmer, greener environments appear as well, which creates a combo that makes the game fun to progress through, as you are collecting as many acorns as possible to feed Scrat's addiction. In conclusion, this is definitely one of the better movie-based games out there. Usually they are low quality and not worth your attention, but this game is no doubt worth checking out if you are an Ice Age fan and want to experience some good old nostalgia and love platforming games. The next game on this list improved on the earlier games and was a massive success. One day before the release of the big blockbuster movie Ice Age: Dawn of the Dinosaurs came a well-made, fun, engaging and exciting adventure with the Ice Age crew. As stated previously, movie tie-in games usually are on the lower quality side of things, but this time they managed to create something really worth playing. Released in mid-2009, developed by Eurocom and released by Activision, a game publisher known for famous games like the Call of Duty series and Crash Bandicoot, You start off as Sid the Sleuth with Crash and Eddie by your side in a tutorial style level where you will learn what the different controls do for jumping, attacking, double jumping, climbing, and etc. You learn early that it's a good idea to collect as many berries as possible, cause you can use this to buy things in the item shop that will grant you abilities and gadgets like increased health bars, fully restore health, and so forth. You can find these stone shops throughout the game as you play, and will have Fast Tony to sell it to you. The gameplay offers great variety, movement feels smooth and enjoyable, like for example the smash down move to take out enemies and destroy objects. Using torches you find to burn down spider webs to progress to the next area, or using a stick to pull down a stone wall makes it quite fun to explore. The classic characters that you're all familiar with are here, as well as some new ones like Rudy the big white, scary looking dinosaur that is found in the movie. Also, as well as Mama Dino or Mama T-Rex is the same dinosaur you will find on the front cover of both the Ice Age 3 movie and video game. Your objective in this game is to defeat Rudy in an intense end battle that feels super exciting and rewarding as you complete the game. Other worthy characters to mention in this game are Sid the Sleuth, Manny, Diego, Scrat, Buck, Scratay, basically female Scrat. These are a core part of the Ice Age universe. They have different ways to move and you play as each one of them at one point in the game. This adventure movie tie-in provided a lot of fun gameplay opportunities and gameplay sequences that make it fun to play for all ages. Like when you play as Sid and get to ride a rhino towards a rock and you have to do it 5 times, and the little time you get to play as Diego and running towards an elk while you have a timer counting down and dodging different enemies along the way. If you have ever played this game before, you will remember the mission Egg Roll, where you play as Sid and standing on top of a snowball that you have to roll your way around and dodge stones and jump over trees to move the eggs to a safe location where they can grow into big dinosaurs. There is also a mission where you play as Sid and have to escape from the angry T-Rex mama as you go from left to right to avoid pitfalls and animals along the way, as well as dodging her attacks. All of these make the game super fun to play and maybe revisit if you played it many years ago. Ice Age Dawn of the Dinosaurs was not like a game of the year or anything, but it did have some really fun and memorable moments as well as funny dialogue, and overall not a terrible Ice Age game at all. I will also briefly mention about the Nintendo DS game of this game as well, cause you can't have an Ice Age game without a DS port, of course. The DS port follows some of the similar principles of the console games, with combat and focus on collecting crystals, but it's downscaled to fit onto the Nintendo DS console. It's obviously not the same, but still offers great fun in terms of exploration, with a semi-3D environment that you play on the lower screen of the DS, while the top screen is used more for showing you how many crystals you have collected. You jump over obstacles, fight enemies, climb vines, and if you love platformers and you're looking to get some good old nostalgia, find your old DS, blow away some of the dust, and start playing this great handheld game. A few years later came something new, a mobile Ice Age game. The year is 2012, mobile gaming is becoming huge. More and more games are created for both Android and iOS. Gameloft, the game company who created this game, is also famous for lots of other mobile games. Also like Minion Rush, the Asphalt racing games, Disney Dreamlight Valley, and Disney Speedstorm. Ice Age Village plays a lot like Clash of Clans, Heyday, or Boom Beach, where your objective is to expand your village by collecting resources, buying new structures, generating currency, and leveling up. You are free to be creative as you want, and you can buy different decoration objects and place around your village to spice it up, as well as being able to buy animals from the Ice Age universe that you can also expand into a whole family of 4 animals together, which will give you more experience and coins. These are used to expand your village, buy structures, and upgrade animals. Some animals and structures require you to use acorns that are more rare and need to be bought through microtransactions, or win in the mini games that you play to win coins acorns or rare animals, which really feels like gambling for some reason. There are also two different worlds. One that you start with the ice world, and later in the game as you progress you unlock the dino world, where you can purchase dinosaurs that will generate lots of coins and XP. If you love Clash of Clans, Heyday and etc, you're definitely gonna like this game, so make sure to check it out. Same year, in 2012, a new big Ice Age game was about to come. Ice Age 4 Continental Drift, released on PlayStation 3, Xbox 360, PC, Nintendo Wii and even a DS and 3DS. Developed by Behavior Interactive and published by Activision, the same company publishing Ice Age Dawn of the Dinosaurs. Let's just say this game was not received too well. Yes, it had some fun minigames to play with the family, but in honesty it felt like a cash grab, just trying to capitalize on the Ice Age franchise and movie. The game lacked content. Compared to previous games with just 10 minigames, you could finish this game in a short amount of time. The series was known for the story-driven platformer games. That was a much more fun way to play these games. All this sounds like harsh criticism towards the game, which it deserves due to it not living up to the expectations of the previous games. But it did have its bright side. Some of the minigames were actually really fun to play and compete. Overall, this game lacked some of the charm that the previous games had to them and wasn't as well received by critics overall, but still a part of the history of the Ice Age games. This title also received a Nintendo DS and 3DS port, as usual, that plays about the same as the console versions, with downgraded graphics. So if you want a portable version of this game, you got it. Moving forward in the evolution comes a mobile game, released in 2014. Ice Age Adventures, another game made by Gameloft. In this game you play as Sid, Manny and Diego, and your mission is to rescue the herd. Your journey takes you across frozen islands, tropical beaches and plenty of obstacles, with each new area offering something different to explore. It's more than just moving ahead, it's about discovering new places and finding what lies hidden along the way. Like Ice Age Village, the focus is still on collecting animals and giving them homes back in your village. Every home you build spits out resources to keep your journey rolling, and the more animals you save, the livelier everything feels. It's a simple loop of rescue, build and repeat, but strangely enough, it works. Now it's not all about chopping trees, clearing rocks and ice, and waiting on timers. The game throws in minigames to mix up the gameplay. With running levels with Sid that feels like Temple Run but in a snowy environment, match 3 puzzles to free animals, and of course, Scrat doing what Scrat does best, chasing that poor acorn like his life depends on it. These distractions are a nice break and keep the game from feeling like a straight up Clash of Clans copy. Overall, this fun little mobile game is definitely worth checking out and playing if you haven't already. It offers plenty of fun and is definitely worth your time. Final one on the list now of this evolution is namely Ice Age Scrat's Nutty Adventure. Now for a big main title game. Scrat is the main character in this game and you control him, jumping, rolling around, throwing objects and attacking enemies. This game consists of 12 levels split across 5 different areas. This game takes you back to the PS2 era of games. It feels like playing Ice Age 2 The Meltdown. Many things remain similar, like the explorer aspect and defeating enemies. It's quite a fun platformer that has a lot of fun levels for you to play through. The levels are the highlight of the game. Well designed with a sense of openness despite being linear. You begin in the countryside before moving to snowy mountains and lava lakes. Overall, this game is a good addition to the series, but I think many can agree that maybe the previous main title games had more charm and were more fun to play, like Ice Age The Meltdown and Ice Age Dawn of the Dinosaurs. That summarizes it. The Ice Age games have been around for quite a while now, and some better than others. I hope you enjoyed this history of Ice Age games and learned something new. If you want to see more videos like this, make sure to drop a big like on this video and hit the subscribe button for good luck. That was it. Thank you so much for watching. Until the next time.